up, everybody? What's up? Welcome to another episode of Latin Explaining. My name is Denise Gonzalez. For those who do not know me, for those who do, I want to welcome everyone here, not just the people that are tuning in. I know I've been super absent, but for the people that are going to watch this on the replay, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel if you not have done so already. And if you want to, you can also bring friends and people that you want to share this content with. I want to discuss today's topic, but before I start with today's topic, it's ridiculous that we gotta make this disclaimer, but it is what it is. We're not talking about the whole collective. For the most part, we're talking about people that either use FBA ideologies or FBA people. So if you don't fall under that category, this show is not about you. With that being said, I brought someone someone to discuss this topic with me. We have been talking about this. If you follow our little corner, you know that we have been discussing this. Hey, Magic Mulata, what's up? We have been discussing this topic for a while. Today, we're going to go a little bit more into it. So I'm going to welcome my Latino brother, uh, Radical Namor. What's up, man?
Yo, as our ancestors once say, Namule Lelelui. You know what I mean? That means was good.
Uh, nothing much. But today we're going to go into it, and I want to start the conversation with saying that it is absolutely ridiculous that we have to make streams like this when especially Radical Latino has been talking about unity and accountability for so many years, especially towards the Latino spectrum. And now we are met with excuses, anti Latino talk, xenophobia, and slippery slopes from the same people that told us at some point that they were in for unity. That's what we're bringing this
Yeah.
whole thing.
Um.
I don't know
Well.
how you feel about it, Rod.
Before I start, just real quick. If you guys hear something in the background, I'm cooking. I'm making soup for me and my wife. So I'm making some soup. Some chicken noodle soup and some arroz. You heard.
Uh,
What was it? So
the
so
radical cook.
yeah, exactly. I didn't want to go to the shop today, so she's taking care of everything that she's taking care of. But anyway, no, I agree with you. Since I started my podcast and my YouTube, that's what the main topic was, and that's what my main message is and still is. Mind you, I don't want people to get confused, but it is always about unity. It's been about unity, but I did get the pushback. I've always gotten the pushback. It's a very interesting how I've said this certain things out in public, face to face with certain people, never got pushback. Online, I'm getting the pushback, right? But I, either way, I'm getting the pushback. Not only me, but you as well. You've gotten pushback, not only pushback, but disrespected. You've gotten insulted. They even threatened. You know, it's safe to say that when it comes to us and uniting with certain people, we have to unite in commonality and also with the same mindset, and we also have to have be in the same page. Now, does this unity mean that assimilation? Not at all. We're talking about political unity. We're talking about allyship, and the toxic FBA and the toxic pro-black sector like to say black folks don't have no allies. Black folks are by themselves, which is a complete falsehood and 1,000% wrong. It's not true whatsoever. Um, they like to put FBA and these toxic pro-blacks in a mentality where it's an end all be all and there's no way to escape or whatever the case is, which is not, again, not true whatsoever. So we are perfect examples of that. And when we are reaching out our hand, these are the toxic pro-black that are not talking about the whole community, not talking for the whole community, but these are the toxic pro-blacks that make it look bad for the Black American community. When we're trying to reach out and say, "Hey, yo, we're fighting for the same cause too." They're the ones that are coming at us saying that, "Hey, you guys have got a white supremacist culture. You guys have, a racist culture and stuff." And when you press them on it, they can't name one thing about it. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, I feel the same way.
It's yeah, it's something that I want to start discussing, because one thing that irritates me the most is uh people that lack the humility to admit failure. And I want to say something before we start the conversation. And I Radical, I've said these things to you too. Black and brown folks are the only people that are allowed to find excuses for failure. Okay, we are allowed in society, promoted and spread propaganda for us to look for excuses for our own failure. And that is why in today's society, whenever we fail, we're never the responsible part. And I always thought, when Radical started bringing these concepts, and I used to watch it even before I had a platform of my own, I was like, the problem is us. The majority of us have all these issues. The majority of us have all this, this lack of accountability and all this stuff. But then I started realizing that it wasn't just me. It wasn't just, a lot of other Latinos started realizing, yeah, maybe we are the problem. So we started then pushing against the people in our collective that were trying to look for excuses as to why they didn't want to put in the work, and that they were putting the work in the wrong places. And it was capitalism the problem. Many of them wanted to wish death to America, and blaming black folks and whatever. But then when we thought that was all ended and we straightened out the whole talking points, then we moved to the black sector and we realized, hey, there is a group that's forming now that's spreading anti-Latino talk. And this is how we started. I remember when Radical started denouncing Chivo even before he went viral in 2020. And people thought, oh, that's just a crazy dude that looks like a baboon, foaming at the mouth, insulting.
Not only that, they would say that I'm doing this for attention. I'm going at Antonio because I got nothing else to talk about. I'm doing this to get subscribers. I'm doing this and this and this and this. I was the only one. The only one. But funny thing is that when he went viral, oh, people just so happened to get on board with the shit.
Yeah.
Literally one person made an in-depth video about the whole Chivo situation and the Latino situation during the George Floyd's riot, and they got it 100% right. And they gave me credit for being the only one going at him. Out
For
of our little
years.
Exactly, out of our own little circle, I was the only one debunking his bullshit. And when he went viral, then people just went and jumped onto the bandwagon. No, I call fakery on that shit.
Yeah, I remember.
I call fakery on that because now, yeah, now y'all not scared because you have a collective and everybody's on board with it. You know what I mean? I was doing it when it wasn't popular.
When it wasn't a cool trend, because I remember a lot of people jump into it because they wanted to get views and they wanted to be down for the cause, because 2020 was such a revolutionary year where people were stuck at home and consuming a lot of YouTube. So of course it was a year in which a lot of people uh were at home watching, a lot of content, and they wanted to watch more than TV. So of course, a lot of
Yeah.
us started watching a lot of radicals content and other people's content. That's what people came across Chivo, and then everybody else was like, "Oh my God, I want some of that pie, so I'm gonna condemn Chivo now." Post radical, after we insulted radical
Yeah.
Latino, so I
Yeah.
remember
Exactly.
those things. And one thing I want to say, I've heard from the spectrum uh many excuses, and I'm a person that I am no special. I've said it many times. I'm not special. Nobody is special. I don't consider myself over the, with the geniuses with high IQs or nothing. I've always said it many times. I'm just a normal person that's a moron that is curious and reads. That's it. That's literally my superpower. Nothing else. So when people try to find, they have managed to find my little bit of intelligence and insult it when they try to make excuses as to why they don't want to do certain things. And one of the things that irritates me the most is that when we're trying to tell them, and not only FBA, we find that also people that are not FBA but follow those ideologies, we tell them, hey, you have a hate group in your collective, like we did. We had the slow taps. We still have the slow taps. The Spain worshippers are still among us. We denounced them publicly for years, and everybody was cheering on that. But then when we started denouncing FBA, xenophobia, and hatred towards Latinos, the same people that told us that they were along with the ride with us tell us that we should ignore it because it's just YouTube. But they did not ignore the slow taps and the Spain worshippers when it was just YouTube. Do you remember that, Brad?
No, I remember that, and I also remember it's very funny whenever I bring up FBA racism, whenever I bring up FBA xenophobia. Oh no, they're just this is what black people do. They just roasting. Okay, well, Chivo was roasting. We can say that, right?
Yeah.
Because whenever is on the other collective, there's always excuses and bullshit that goes on top of it. Whenever I'm showing people being very hateful towards Africans or whatever, there's FBA accounts right now on their whole bio, on their little bio on Twitter, talking about I hate all Africans. No, this is what I get. No, those are bots. How do you know that? How do
But
you
but
know those are bots?
but you know
But
what's
then I
crazy?
could say Ken123 is a bot.
Yeah.
I can say that then. Since when you open the door for bullshit excuses and not taking accountability for your collective, you open the door for everybody.
Absolutely. It has to be the same standard for everyone, because if the standard is not at the same level, then it's an advantage. And that's what I want to discuss today. Many FBAs, when we have confronted them with productivity, with accountability, with tackling crime, and it's one of the things that I know people are going to hate me for, because Latinos did the same thing. And when we confront them about putting in work and moving, especially when I have asked them, what is the main reason why Black Americans today can't move forward? And in reality, it's because we have been, like I mentioned before, we are the only collectives that are allowed to blame the white man for our failure, our personal failure. So, of course, a lot of people have rested on that instead of just trying to understand, I'm too lazy, I'm too cowardly to actually do certain things. Now, I'm not saying the whole collective is, I'm just saying the RBG toxic pro blacks and the FBAs. Those are the two groups in that collective that actually don't put in any work and leave a very small minority of the collective doing all the heavy lifting. We've seen it ourselves. Okay, there's close to 10 to 13% of that collective actually doing majority of the work. And I'm not saying that the rest of the collective doesn't go to work. I'm saying literally putting in the work to take care of their image, to actually breaking points, and actually bridging gaps that they complain about. Many of these FBA or Tari Queeners, like I call them, blame the white men for certain things. And I want to bring, because you guys know I'm all about the numbers, I want to bring information, accurate information, because often what we hear all the time is these people complaining about how they don't have enough, how the white man has more money than them, how the white man is on top of all of us. And it's the same thing with Latinos, and simply because we're not making the right choices. And I'm going to bring different statistics that I have found all around to what work is really being put out there. Because when you confront the Starry Queeners and the RBG brothers, Mr. Collectives and Mrs. Collective, when you confront them with what work they're putting in, they always want to put it on other people. Oh, I'm not supposed to do anything. Let's start by the numbers. Here's the first statistic regarding judges in America. One of the biggest complaints of these people is that there's not a judicial system that's equivalent or that actually is fair towards black folks.
I'm sorry, can I just interject real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Latinx though.
Well, I don't make the names. I don't make the names. So the American Constitution Society has disclosed, because a lot of people complain, oh, like I had a white judge and I had this and I had that. If you're so worried about this, why is it that literally 73% of the judges in America are white, 12% are black, 8% are Latinx or Latino, even though I don't like the term Latinx, but for the whole conversation, let's just keep it there. 4% are Asian, 0.12% are Native, 2 or more races are 1.6%. You can tell me that the white man is keeping us down, but I will, turn that back on you. How many of you are actually going to college to get into political science or to get into criminal justice or to get into studying for the bar? And before people complain about how they don't have the money to do these things, let me tell you something. States like New York, California, and I think Virginia allowed you to read the law and pass the bar exam. You don't have to even go to law school for that. You only need a few credits. So again, why is it that we want to complain about the judicial system, but actually people do not want to put in the work? Now, let's keep moving to another complaint these people do.
Quick,
go ahead, Rod.
I'm not going to lie. Yo, being a lawyer, it's not easy. You know what I'm saying?
Not.
It's not. I used to date a lawyer. And
look at you.
I think I believe I was with her when she was studying for the bar. Bro,
it's hard.
I could literally we had no time for each other for a whole month. Seriously. It was all
But that is the way it is.
Study. And guess what? I understood. I'm like, yeah, I'm good. I'm good with it. I did feel like I felt kind of single. I'm like, God damn, I do feel single. But I had to understand that it was a greater thing than that. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I might or might have not had her on the podcast. Yeah, I might never know. But she did pass the bar. We ended up breaking up for other things. She was too masculine. But anyway.
Oh my God.
but she is a good friend that I do call for legal advice time and time again.
Yeah. These are sitting judges right now in America.
Yeah, no, she to the point where she went to became a Bronx. She went from a Bronx DA to a Bronx defender, to not prosecutor, defense lawyer, because she saw the corruption that was happening in the Bronx. Mm-hmm. And mind you, she's a Latina, and she was like, "Wait a minute, I'm sending my own people home to jail, and there's some bullshit going on here. Hold the fuck on." She did a lot of changes behind the scenes I can't really talk about.
Yeah, that's what. But this is for the effects of our people. This also applies to the Tari Queeners. You want to blame the white men, but meanwhile, the white men at a 73% rate is becoming judges in America. This is what the FBAs are doing. So at the end of the day, you can't really blame the white man for your lack of application in your early years, in your youth, to actually become something that can potentially represent you and bridge the gap. It's kind of like the same thing that we hear from women with the pay gap. Oh, like, I've been discriminated. You don't do the same jobs as men do. So I'm sorry, but the Terry Queeners and the RBG brothers, the Mr. Community, the Mrs. Community, these people don't do the same jobs as white people do. The white wealthy people, the people that they constantly are insulting and looking upon them. So they're to the people that they are always insulting, like, you don't do the same jobs. If you do the same jobs, then you realize there's really not a pay gap. You just don't work the same. So we're going to move to another profession. We know for a fact, we have known for a while, that STEMs is the future of prosperity in the work field, the workforce out there. Now, I've spoken about the lack of Latino representation in this area, and I said it many times. We are not prioritizing our boys to go into that. We'd rather put them into gardening, construction, painting, and manual labor, which is becoming extinct in a few years. In a few decades, that's not going to be something that's going to generate any type of wealth. So when people complain about how they hate, oh, the Asians are on top, the white men are on top, look at our representation. The white man is at an 18% representation in STEM. Asians, 33%. Latinos or Hispanic, 15%. Black, 12%. So where is the collective that people complain about not having certain things going after them?
This is STEM, right?
Yeah, this is
Bachelor's
STEM.
degree and percentage of total bachelor's degrees confirmed when the post in the STEM. Yo,
Yeah.
why Asians on top though?
Because
like
they go more into that field.
No, fuck that. No,
Now, I want to bring with that same, and this is not something I am saying. The National Center for Education Statistics is saying this. So before you come at me and attack me and try to insult me, I didn't make these things. Take it with them. So this is the percentage distribution of certificates and associate's degrees. You don't even want to do an associate's freaking degree. Awarded by post-secondary institutions by rate or ethnicity in that same field, which is STEMs. Okay, you have in 2000 to 2001, 2015, 2016, and again the associate's degrees from 2000 and 2001, so 2015 to 2016. And if you look at the percentage, white people, right, are represented at a higher level than everybody else. But why? Simple. They go to college more. White people is the dark green, then followed by black.
Wait, hold on. Wait,
What?
Latinos in 2000 to 2001.
We went up.
We went up.
In 2015.
Yeah, we went up, and black folks went down. And wait, associate. Oh, graduate. My fault. Associate's degree.
They went down. Okay. So again, per 100. This is per 100 students. 61 were white in the certificate realm. 18 were black. 14 were Latino. 5 were Asian or Pacific Islander. And the 1% is American Indian or Alaska Native. Now, mind you, in 2016, in the certificate area, black people went down. So you stopped going to college altogether. Not even to get a freaking certificate, which is 1 year of study. How lazy can you really be? And I'm going to interject a commentary that I'm going to make literally my slogan from now on. FBAs and RBG people that make excuses for themselves without putting in the work die at the plantation. And I wish we could bring the slaves into modern society and send you to the plantation, because I'm pretty sure these numbers will be completely opposite of what we're seeing right now. If you
Whoa,
please,
whoa! You
but
better clean that one. You gotta clean that up.
no,
The
it
shit
is
got
true.
cleaned
It
up.
is true. No, I'm
No,
not
but you
gonna
gotta
clean
clean
it.
it up. You gotta clean it up though. Clean it
I,
up. Clean it
I'm
up.
not gonna clean it. I'm not gonna clean
Oh
it.
shit.
I said what I said. If they don't like it, rub some salt on it. Go cry somewhere else. Tell me you hate me, but it is true. I wish we could bring the slave people that were extremely productive into modern society and send you over there so you can see what really oppression is. You're not oppressed in America today enough to not go to college, enough to not go into a 1 year certificate study. Come on now. What is the excuse? This is why I keep asking folks, what is stopping you in 2022 from doing something?
What Denise is saying, for what I'm understanding, is that
Radicals better clean it up.
if we would get people from back in the day in antebellum slavery, they would start achieving a little bit more, because right now modern society has made it so easy for everybody that we've become lazy as a society. That right,
Yeah,
right.
and
Okay.
that's literally what it is. These people have become softer and softer and softer. Now let's keep moving, because that's another thing that they complain about. Oh, like everybody in Silicon Valley is white or Asian or whatever. Because I hear all this all the time. Now we're gonna go into back again the judicial system, attorneys, racial diversity on the district courts. These are the attorneys of America. You complain that the white man or the Asian or the whatever is on top of you, oppressing you. But same goes for Latinos. This is not exclusive to Black Americans. Black and brown people have the same freaking excuses, and we're tired of them. 72% of the people that become lawyers in America are white people. 13% are Black, 9% Latino, 4% Asian American, and 2% are two or more races. So when you talk about, oh, I need representation, work for it. Work for it. I am so tired of people making excuses for themselves when they keep talking about the fact that they cannot get something done, that the white man did this, and the white and the crack crisis.
Wait. Let me play devil's advocate for 1 second. Let me just play devil's advocate for 1 second. There are, for example, in TV, radio, I'm gonna even say movies, right? There are certain people or certain standards that would deny certain individuals, like Latinos or Black folks, to get certain roles. That is a true thing, you know.
Yeah, it is. I want to, before I continue, I want to say hi, because I neglected the chat. I want to say hi to Gigi, to Morena, to La Raza Africana. Welcome, guys. Make sure to hit that like button, okay?
La Raza
And
Africana is going in on you right now.
it's going rowdy. But look at what Morena just posted when we were talking about the slaves. They did accomplish more with less access to resources as they are available now. That is a fact. That's when I talk
Yeah,
about crime, and I talk to these people about crime, and I talk about this to these people about oppression and white supremacists. White supremacy was at its peak during slavery, Jim Crow, and segregation. It's low today compared to what they had, but somehow all of us accomplished more when we were at the plantation. We used to value the lives of our brothers and sisters more when we had the Spanish Empire and the British Empire whipping our backs. At its peak, at the peak of colonization and slavery, we made better choices. We were high quality people. And today that we're left to our own devices, what are we doing? Oh, I know. Crying on the internet about Those people that didn't cry about nothing, they made stuff work, and they didn't had half the
and
stuff
some
we have
and some
today.
wanna and some wanna cry to go back into 1783, back to the Spanish, control system.
Yeah. One thing that I want to say, uh, because this is another talking point from the FBAs and the Tari Queeners and all these RBG people, is that they keep talking about, and I've heard Tariq Nasheed on a debate. I don't remember who posted it, if it was you or somebody else. Uh, when he debates that Obama did more for Latinos than he did for Black folks, and I have
Yeah,
debunked that several times with
yeah, which is
several
which
things.
is which is which is bullshit.
It is
Because
bullshit because he put us
because
on
he wants
cages.
to continue that narrative that FBAs don't have no allies.
Yeah. Yeah. And not only that, the fact that, oh, he was a Black president, but he worked for the white man. Because again, he wanted Obama to accomplish the impossible, which is bring them reparations and scoop them up from the ghetto and put them in the White House as advocates
One
and
thing I will,
advisors and stuff like
yeah,
that. That's never going to happen, Rod.
one thing I will say that Obama had the power to do though. And I don't know why. Maybe his handlers or something. I don't know. He could have put a law out and punished some of these cops, or have these cops punished from the atrocities that were happening during his presidency, and black folks were getting blasted away. You know,
But
he
you
could
know
have
who
done
got,
something,
but do
but what
you,
he ended up doing was making a Blue Lives Matter law. You know,
but let's just keep it real, Rod. What races are the most dangerous neighborhoods in America?
in what way? What neighborhood most?
What races of people live in the most dangerous neighborhoods in America?
Latinos and blacks.
Exactly. So, which neighborhoods are going to most likely encounter police brutality and shootings?
No, no, of course. But what I'm
So,
saying is,
so that is the thing.
no, what I'm
How do
saying is,
you?
he could have had the way I see it is, if a mass shooter goes to a school or whatever, they know how to talk this person down. He gets handcuffed, it's over, right? They know how to not shoot those people. But with us, we handcuff or we even running away, we get shot in our back. So at least he could have done something. That's one thing I will give him, because that's something I do agree with.
But look at the result. Look at the result. And I'm gonna be very honest out here. There's more white people, and people can check this up. More white people die every year by police shootings than black and brown people. And that is a known fact. And people will
Mm,
say, oh, no, per capita. It doesn't matter. Because if
I'll
you
say
can,
I'll say that
I'm going to explain why.
I say
Look,
that is true. That is true. But the thing is, when black and Latinos die, we die unarmed or armed. White people die.
same with white people. Look,
Nah,
when
majority of them are armed.
not really.
Majority of them.
Not really.
Really? I don't think
42
I know.
42% of the people that are killed by police every year, which is roughly 1,000 per year, 42% are white folks, armed or unarmed. Okay, 24% are black people. And people will say, oh, but that is per capita. That is when you come in. If your representation in the professional aspects in your own community is that of a rowdy, loud, uh, not caring, upset all the time, and violent person, and you don't, if you're none of those things, you don't care of cleaning up your image and putting a positive image out there, then how is a cop not going to know? How can a cop differentiate you with a hoodie and chains and Jordans than the gangbanger with a hoodie, chains, and Jordans? I don't know if people get this message. How is he supposed to read
No,
your
no, you're
mind?
right. No, you're right.
You get my
You're
point?
right.
It's the same
No,
thing
you're
that I
right.
say that I said to the cholos when they're like, "Oh, like not all of us are criminal, but you're dressed like one and tattooed like one." So how is the police officer not is supposed to know that you don't have a gun? They're human too. They're human too. There's a lot of Latino and black cops that have killed people. Why? Because they really don't know. How are they supposed to know? When you don't even dress your age, when you don't even behave like you're supposed to behave, when you don't even do the things you're supposed to do,
No,
when you
you're
don't
right.
even
You're right.
care.
You're right.
So we're asking unrealistic expectations from people that are just human beings. And I'm not trying because God knows I like cops as much as anybody else. And I understand that there is a disease among the ranks of police. Look at what they did to Mr. Floyd. I disagree completely with that because that was blatant racism, and that's why they killed this man. There are instances, many like that, but we're talking about the broad spectrum. Okay, there are many cases that could be avoided if people acted in a different manner. If you want to be perceived different, you got to be different. And I'm not making excuses for the cases when police have overreached and police are openly racist or they do stuff. And I'm going to keep saying it, but people are going to interpret it that way. We're going to see it in the comment section. I'm not talking about the cases when police have became in a behave in a manic way. I'm talking about the cases where it's very difficult to tell when a person is one of these criminal folks or it's just a normal person. It's very difficult to actually differentiate those things. Now, going back to the talking point that many FBAs talk about, which is the Obama topic. They want to say that Obama helped more Latinos than he did black folks, and he didn't do nothing for black folks. But if
A
you
lot of people,
compare,
a lot of people say that because of the immigration things that he put out, which again, Latinos are not all immigrants. So,
but this is my thing, Rad. Obama deported more Latinos than any president before or after him. Obama put Latinos in cages. Obama took a 17.1% black unemployment rate and turned it into a 7.1 in 8 years. So he took the jobs from the illegal people that were coming here, the illegal immigrants, and he gave it to black folks. I've said it many times. He held the door for the immigrants to not coming here so that black people could be employed. Because they were the most benefited from that. It was nobody else because they don't go as to college as much as we don't go to college. So of course we fight for the same jobs. So those jobs go to the next in line on skilled labor, which is black folks. Let's just keep it real. Now, going to the racial diversity of judges confirmed under Obama versus those confirmed under Trump. FBA claim.
hold on, real quick. Just to answer one of the comments.
Which
La
one?
raza, La raza Africana. No, the vast majority immigrants are not Latino. They're actually Asians, and there's numbers to prove it. And also for XO said FBA would have even more allies if they didn't run everyone off. 100% true. That's facts. Continue.
Yeah, it is. It is. So he confirmed under his term 63% white judges, 17.9, almost 18%. So you have even over the percentage of your presence in America, which is 13%. He confirmed a large group of black judges, 9% of Latinos, half of what he named black folks, okay? Then 5% Asians, 0.3% Native American, and 2.4% of two or more races. So radical. If we contrast this to Donald Trump, the right next to him president, and you actually see the black people's numbers and judges confirmed under these terms, and you compare it even to the Latino judges confirmed under Obama, which is half of what, for every 2 Black judges, there was 1 Latino judge confirmed under Obama. So who he really benefited with this?
Seems like Black and Latinos benefited under Obama.
Black and Latinos? Who is the biggest demographic, Black or Latinos?
Oh, I mean, well, Black folks in that little pie.
No, in America.
Oh, in America, the biggest demographic is Latinos.
Exactly. So if Latinos were confirmed less than Black folks, who he actually worked for?
I would say Black folks.
Exactly. So another lie the FBAs keep talking about so that they can continue to perpetuate the laziness as to why they're not ahead like they're supposed to. No one is supposed to be ahead of full-blooded American people in today's society. No one is supposed to be ahead of you. People are ahead of you because you don't want to put in the work. Obama opened the door for a lot of people. I have another chart that proves it. And this is another source. It's not the same source.
Recent Democrat president have appointed more majority federal judges. Obama, 55 Black, 33 Latino, 17 Asian. Wow. Okay.
He appointed a lot of Black folks. And Clinton did too.
Like Clinton. Shout out to Clinton. Yeah.
Clinton really did not mess with Latinos like that. Neither with Asians. Neither with Asians. Just think about it. George Bush either. Let's keep it real. Obama
from
did.
Clinton, you went from 60. And George Bush comes, says it's good. Like, yeah, there's too many Black folks. Go down all the way down to 22.
Yep.
God damn.
And then Obama, that's why Obama brought it up back to 55. So when people say that, oh, we can't get ahead because the judicial system is against us, because since the 90s, you have had a more fair establishment that's willing to open the door for you, and you're not taking advantage of that. So let's say since Gen X, the younger Gen X that were literally in their 20s, in the 1990s, you've had enough time to actually make something happen. But instead, we hear excuses from both of these groups. So again, I don't want no excuses. Now, this is the percentage of another thing that people, the FBAs and the RBG people complain is the disparity when it comes to medicine. And I'm here bringing the percentage of all active physicians by race and ethnicity in America as of 2018. Okay, so if you look at the chart, white physicians account for 500,016,304, which is 56.2% of all physicians in America. So that means almost over half of the physicians in America are of the white race or ethnicity. 17%, the second largest group, is Asians. 17.1% are Asian.
They're larger in that, just like they're larger in immigration. Yeah. I just want. Okay, so they get number 2. Okay.
They get number 2. 13% is unknown. I'm guessing those are either Europeans, usually Europeans, Middle Eastern, and also Latinos that place other. Now, after that, Black or African American, 5%. And I'm telling you, the same goes for Latino, Hispanic, 5.8%. And you know why our communities are in that position, Rad? That we're only 5% in medicine.
Wait, hold on. I got this. Hold on. Wait. White supremacy.
We're in this position because it takes a lot of years to become a licensed physician. And we don't like to
If it's
put
not
in the
on
work.
YouTube, I'm not gonna do it. Fuck out of here, yo.
That's how it is for our people. That's how our collectives are. That's our common ground. That's why it's so difficult to
Nah, nah,
deal
nah,
with
nah, nah.
us.
Wait, hold up, Denise. But wait, what you telling me, if it's not on YouTube, I don't want it. I don't care.
It's not needed. It's not needed. So when people talk about
What you
white
mean? I can't get a
supremacy
YouTube diploma?
and go do some surgery. Now,
Exactly.
look, when people keep crying about being killed, about not being treated, about being discriminated in the medical field, this is why. You don't want to do nothing about it because you're in the mentality that someone somewhere is going to do it. And everyone is becoming infected with that mindset. Someone somewhere is going to go to medical school. Someone somewhere is going to become a judge. Not me. I am good just, floating around and wasting my time. And that's usually how it goes. That's usually how it goes. Not me. Someone somewhere. But then when someone somewhere dies, you want to cry about how, the disparity, nobody understands the black and brown people and the black and brown bodies and whatever. This is why, 5%.
They don't.
And to sustain my claim, percentage of U.S. medical school applicants by black subgroups, and I'm gonna break down this. When we've heard a lot of anti-blackness coming from the FBAs, okay, this is a chart that shows which more likely group amongst black people in America applies for a medical to go to medical school. Okay, black or African American or other people like Afro-Caribbeans and so 48% of the percentage of black people. That means that 48% of that 5% of physicians, 48% is African American. That means 2.5% or 2.3%. Okay, per 100, you have at the most 3 African American doctors per 100. That's an F. Now, out
Really?
of the,
You said per 100. Wait, per 100?
per
Isn't
100
that
doctors in America,
Oh, okay.
2.3% are
Oh,
African
okay.
American.
2
Because
point.
out
Damn.
of all the
It's not
black
even a
doctors,
65. I can't even
no,
pass with that.
it's not. Yeah, you can pass with a D. It's 2.3%. Now, when they complain about, oh my God, these Nigerians are coming here and taking over. Nigerians, which are a very small group compared to African Americans, 19% of the medical school applicants are Nigerian or African, however you want to say, because they come from different places. So I stand corrected. So they're African. 19%, almost half of the African American students. Now, 8% are Black or African American without subcategories.
I don't get that. Without I don't get that.
That they don't basically subcategories is when they divide with share with another type of racial group or ethnicity.
Oh, okay.
So 14% multiple Black or African American, which means an African American man or woman marries an either Afro-Caribbean or an African person or whatever,
It's
and
14%.
they're 14%.
Wait, hold on. You mean to tell me the little other black of or African American, the little light skinned one, that's for light skinned folks?
No, that's not.
Oh,
Just
okay.
because it's yellow, that don't mean light
Okay,
skin.
my bad.
That means when someone comes from either the UK or France or so and so. And then 10% of the U.S. medical school applicants are Afro-Caribbean. Meanwhile, it's U.S. Virgin Islands, Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, Cuba, Jamaica.
You're
So 52% of every applicant for a medical license is not an African American. But then we want to cry about, and it's only 5%. Let's not forget that this is the real number. Okay? Then we want to complain when there's not enough Black representation in the medical field. Before you say,
but
oh, it's
I
only
can't
African
get it on
American.
YouTube though. If it's
I'm
on
just
YouTube, then I'm gonna learn it. Duh.
and another thing that I want to touch on. Look at the line. One thing that irritates me the most, okay, is the fact that when we do get in, we don't land in the highest ranking physicians. Okay? Amongst that percentage that
Wait,
I just
the
showed,
little disclaimer is
yeah.
There you go.
Out of all of that, look at even us Latinos at a 2.2%.
We don't even make it in the pie, yo.
You can even see us.
Yo, we don't. Well, we're right there. The little shadow for the thing. That's us. We're the shadow.
And we want to complain about the Asians. Asians go to school. Asians, while we're dancing and shaking our behinds, Asians are actually putting in the work. White people are putting in the work. And they're better than us, and they're faster than us, and they're more applied than us, and we just want to keep dancing. Then enjoy dancing through life. Enjoy dancing through life. It's that easy. Now, law enforcement. And I'm going to talk here because I'm going to finish talking with crime. Law enforcement. We want to complain about police brutality. Granted, there are a lot of brutal maniacs that are cops. I have said it many times. It's infesting the ranks of law enforcement, and it's disgusting. And as an American that pays taxes, I think we should demand for a better police job. Now, people, and I had MK here talking to people about joining law enforcement, and a lot of folks were like, no, someone somewhere should do it. You go ahead, MK. You take care of it. I'm going to sit here in my popcorn. That was the response to that. When I said duty calls, that was the response to that. But we want to complain about the popo. Oh, 5-0 is corrupt. How about you join them then? Look at the representation. Oh, fucking white cops, 61.5%.
I found very interesting that compared to the total populations, there's more. For people to understand this, that means there's more white cops than there are white folks in the total population.
There's literally it, and it's the community that's affecting more. I want people to make no mistake about it. The community that's most affected by that 1% that white people are taking, and by that 3% that Black people are taking, is Latinos. We are only 14% when we are 18.3% of the population.
Yeah. First of all, I didn't know. I thought white folks would be 70% of the population. I'm gonna keep it at that.
They used to be 70. They used to be 72. Now they're down to 60.2.
Really?
Yep.
Shout out to all my Mexicans bringing that fentanyl.
Keep bringing in, keep coming in, Venezuelans. No, seriously.
No, so okay. That's very interesting. Also, it tells me with this there's more Black representation in the police department than I thought so. The only representation that I'm starting to see, the less representation is in the Latino community. There's less cops for us than there is of the population. That's an issue.
And both of these groups actually are taking that percentage. And I'm not even mad at that. The thing is that because they're the ones applying, right? They're the ones that are going in. Anyone can apply to become a cop. Anyone. But it requires a lot
Even
of work.
me.
Even you. It requires that you put down the ding dongs, get your behind from the couch, work your behind off, apply yourself, stop smoking freaking weed.
Wait, you're telling me to be responsible? Fuck that. I'd rather be a cop in GTA.
And you see, put down the Grand Theft Auto, you know, and start putting in the work. Oh, and be responsible with your finances because you need good credit to become a cop.
Fuck that.
So things that people don't want to do, but then they want to bitch and whine about, how, oh my God, we have all this. And before I go deeper into the crime, because I'm starting to touch on the finishing touches here. Businesses. I get that you don't want to go to college and you don't want to do nothing because it's too much work. You don't want to be reading for 8 years. You don't want to be going through board exams or nothing like that. Fine, start a damn business. But a lot of FBA and RBG people that are angry at the white man and blame everything on the other groups. It's everyone's fault, right? The most common ethnicity amongst business owners is white at a 70%.
Damn.
After that is Hispanic or Latino at a 14%.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
After that
Yeah.
is the beloved Asians that people hate. These people hate the Asians, and they're only 6%. And then Black or African American, mind you, this is not just African American. This includes the Africans too, and the Afro Caribbeans, which they hate. It's only 6%. Unknown, 2.1%.
6% of Africans own businesses. Those are the ones that you buy the black soap from. You heard?
Yeah. So when people talk about everything is about white supremacy, that's why I give them the side eye. There are certain things that I'm not going to take away from white supremacy. I've stated those things lengthily here. Lengthily. Those are things we cannot change. And I've said it many times. We lost the war. You got to learn how to live in the white man's world or go to war. I've said that at least 100 times. Either learn how to live in their world or get ready to go to war. But you cannot come to someone like me with empty arguments. And mind you, right, look at how the majority of the people that comes with these excuses are absent from the conversation.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to have to answer to numbers. I can lie, you can lie, they can lie. Numbers don't lie. Why is it that if you don't want to go to college, where's your business? Employing your people. Where's that? And I love something that Obsidian said that I heard on his stream.
Oh, shout out to Obsidian. I never knew who he was until you
something I heard from Obsidian and I loved it. Where is it when people talk about this RBG, FBA, Tariq Queeners, MFers? Where is Tariq Nasheed? How many black men and black women does he employ?
Exactly.
Because I
exactly.
If black people are at the bottom, go ahead.
It's real easy to talk pro-black. It's real easy to talk about. I could read the hieroglyphics upside down, backwards, and 3 times over. You know what I mean? Like it's real easy to say all of that bullshit, but at the end of the day, what are you building with it? There's some people that started who were the pioneers of the pro-black movement that actually started something. Shout out to the Nation of Islam. They actually started something. You know what I mean? Shout out to to the NAACP, they actually started something. We're talking to people who are scamming the community, talking about getting schools when they're never opening, promising a museum that's two to three floors up, and you get an ice cream shop. We're talking about those type of people that are supposed to be running the community. Get the fuck out of here, bro.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, and before people come at me, because I know a lot of people are gonna start with the nonsense. Oh, you're throwing shots, you're doing this, and you're doing that. Look, you want to know the difference amongst a Black American that respects himself and doesn't make excuses versus all of this daichiki moronic people? Let's take a look at this 22-year-old boy that actually went out and did exactly what Dr. Umar Johnson, hypocrite ass, is still selling people for 7 years. This kid at 22 years old started a school for Black boys with no money. Yes, he's African American. That is the difference between making excuses for yourself and getting the work done. That's why I keep saying FBA people, RBG people, and all these pro-Black people that are mad and are talking about the collective and history and slavery and Jim Crow. Those people die at the plantation. If they would have been the slaves, you will have to, the people that are productive like King Randall is, they will have to fight for freedom today because we still be at the plantation because they are lazy.
That's actually no lie. That's actually beautiful. Shout out to that brother.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That is the difference among the people that are productive. So when people try to say, "Oh, there's nothing that can be
But
done,"
you want to
the
hear the
white
excuses
man.
though. You want to hear the excuses though. This is gonna be one of the excuses. But he's gonna teach. He's not gonna teach the real Black history. They're gonna find one Mexican lady that works at the lunch, and they're gonna be like, "That's not a real Black school." You know what I mean?
Yeah,
They're gonna find the one white bank that was probably funding the whole thing because the kid didn't have no money. See, white supremacists really run that. You know what I mean? So
yeah. So yeah, because it's always an excuse, and it's like I said, you can only argue white supremacy to a degree. Do you know how I know someone is not productive? And it's one of this RBG. It's the first tell. And I
right.
learned this from Mr. Kevin Samuels when he rests in power. Uh, it's your grooming. If you have dreads, an afro, like a big afro, not like a small one, dreads, a big afro, a large beard, get out of here.
I I I have
That's how
a
it is. That's how it
I
is.
I have a large beard.
That's how it is.
I don't have a large beard, but it's well kept.
No, if you have a well kept beard, that's a different thing. I'm saying a
Oh
large beard, like Santa Claus, kind of uneven type of stuff. Get out of
oh
here.
okay.
That's literally how it is. Because in your
Shout out to
graphic,
my unkept beards.
you know, there's no one. Imagine, Rad, you work really hard to get funding for a business. You start a brand. It takes you years to actually get that brand into a productive setting and start making a name for yourself. You have to pay for marketing, plus you have to get the stock, plus you have to get all the promotions and all the people that start doing the work. You have to work. People think that owning a business is just working less and making more money. No, you actually work 24/7. And then it's time to hire people to represent your brand. You don't want an unkept MF that has a graphic tee.
That's true.
That is the reality.
That's true.
You want the
Have
best to
have
represent
have
you.
a well kept MFer with a graphics team. You're right. You're right. You're right.
And that's another thing that Blood Moon said. Yeah, I have to agree with that. I don't want no one cursing and using crazy ebonics. I'm
I'm
not
not
saying
gonna
that.
lie. I'm not gonna lie. If y'all would see me at my shop, I don't talk this way. I swear to God.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't talk this way. I'll be like, hey, Emily, can you come here and can we talk for a little bit? You know what I mean? And then I'm like, hey, listen,
Yes.
you came in late twice, It's okay, it's fine. But remember, if you do it again, I'm gonna have to write you up, and I'm sorry. You know, so that's how I do it. I don't be like, yo. I don't I don't do none of that bullshit. You
Yeah.
know, I clean it up, especially when it comes to money. Oh, when it comes to money, oh yeah, oh yeah.
That's what I keep saying with people.
I get in touch with my Spaniard side. And I'm like, come on, use some big words. Let's go.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. I see that Pana Rican is here and she says, don't disrespect Malcolm X like that. Most of these pro-black people are doing something. Just because you guys choose to focus on the ones who don't, doesn't mean it ain't happening. Pana, which are the pro-black people, RBG, pro-community people that are actually employing other black people and bringing representation in the medical field, the judicial system, the STEMs,
Yeah,
technology?
we're not saying
Which
all
ones
of
are
it.
those?
We're not saying all of it, but the large majority of these people, they just talk a good game, but that's about it. But no, Malcolm X did a really good job. What are you talking
Malcolm
about?
X actually put in the work.
Yeah, shout out to Malcolm X and the
I'm
NOI.
not
I
disrespect.
think I just said the NOI built something. They built something.
He did. You
You
just
know.
talk about the Nation of Islam.
Yeah, yeah. The Nation of Islam
I'm
did something.
talking. I'm like,
Yeah.
are you kidding me? The Nation of Islam. If you listen,
Let's be on the only ones that we're talking about is the prominent ones who for some reason are prominent for no reason. I don't know why. But we're talking about the Polites of the world. We're talking about the Umar Johnsons of the world. We're talking about the Tariq Nasheeds of the world. I'm not going to put Michi X on this because Michi X is the only one that I've seen that actually employs black people and actually is doing something.
yeah, and
I'm
you
not
can
gonna lie.
tell.
She might be the only one out of this whole little fuckity fuck community that is talking that good game. She's the might be the only one that I'm actually seeing actually doing something, and people behind the scenes have confirmed it. And I'm like, okay, so she's alright. Shout out to her, even though she don't like Latinos, but whatever. Shout out to her, you know. But that's the only one that I will probably say. Everybody else, Jason Black, come on, bro.
That's what I'm
Professor
saying.
Black Truth, which is the same person, come on, bro. Let's be real. None of these people are actually doing something or moving the needle. Come on.
Yeah, that's what I keep saying. I was like, come on now. And what I wanted to end with, which is something that people don't like to talk about, is black on black crime. We're gonna talk about that. And I know people hate me when I touch that topic. And before I touch that topic, I love the freaking internet. I love it. I'm gonna play something.
Before you touch that topic, I would like to say, um, I think I said
Radica's
this
like, I'm
before.
out.
First of all, I don't know where you're going because me and you have not spoken about this, but
No, look, Rad. The
you know,
views, the
wait,
views and
wait.
statements of Denise does not represent the radical
Exactly.
Namor.
You people know the stance I take when it comes to black and black crime. I don't believe it exists. I don't believe
Oh,
black
come
and
on,
black
Rad.
crime. No. Hold on. Just listen to what I'm saying. I don't believe that black and black crime exists. Is there crime in these messed up communities that so happen to be black? Yes, of course there is. But to just point out black and black crime as like an outlier, like that's the different type of crime. No, that doesn't exist.
No, I'm not
Crime
saying
is
it's a
crime.
different. I'm not saying it's a different type of crime. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm
I
saying
know that's
is,
not what you're. I know that. No, I know that's not what you're saying.
and I'm
But
gonna say it like I said.
a lot of people who do talk about black and black crimes, it kind of so happens to go that way. And I don't want people to mistake what you're saying as that, you know, because I know that's not what you're saying. But go ahead, go ahead. But to me, I don't believe black and black crime exists. But
No,
I
it
do know
does. It
that
does exist. It does exist.
it it
Let's just
it,
keep it
it,
real.
it don't though.
It does
But
exist.
crime in those communities exists, yes.
No, I'm gonna differ with you on that one.
Okay.
The problem with our communities, Black and brown communities, like I said at the beginning, is that we are the only communities that are able to blame others for our failure. And we call it gun violence. And I know that because I lost two cousins to quote unquote gun violence when in reality it was brown on brown crime.
Oh, then I lost 4 cousins
You see what
to.
I'm telling you? Brown on brown. I'm telling you,
No,
it does
actually, no. I'm not
exist.
gonna lie. No, actually, one of them passed away from another black dude, but the majority of them were brown and brown.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, we're gonna talk about that. But before people come for me, because they're gonna start with the insults and you're gonna see again. This is what we're gonna see because that's literally what we're seeing. I'm going to refresh the minds of the folks that are too
Give me a minute,
lazy.
disease. Give me a minute. Give me a minute. Go ahead. Give me a minute.
Okay, I'm gonna refresh the minds of the people that are too lazy to go 2 years ago into what we used to talk about when we used to denounce how our collective should be moving in order to achieve success, since we complain as Latinos a lot about the stuff that we were not accomplishing because of the quote unquote American capitalism. So I'm gonna refresh the minds of the people that so that there's no confusion as to why I'm talking about this. I have the same standard and I keep it 100% with both groups, my group and your group. If you don't like it, kick rocks. But that's just the way I am. Let's play this from 2 years ago. Let's go.
Yeah,
Wait,
I'm
when was this?
party, so I'm
Laser hair removal
Hold on.
blew my mind. Life before laser hair removal was honestly kind of a struggle. I tried to shave as little as possible. And
Let's just hold on, guys.
Give me my ad money. Okay.
No.
Okay, this is two. Wait, you said this is 2 years
Kick
ago?
2 years ago.
Okay.
2 years ago. Let's dismiss this. Let's go.
Nobody, nobody could hear it. Denise, nobody could hear it.
Come again?
No, I can't hear it.
If you really want to
Yeah.
break it down, about accountability and who should be talking about and taking accountability for certain actions. Did you see what B. Simone said?
B. Simone. No, what did she say?
She basically, just the cliff notes. She basically said that women need to
I don't know what's going on. Hold
take
on, guys.
accountability for what they want in a relationship. So if they want a certain person with a certain look and certain attributes, they should also match that certain look.
Wait, what happened?
I don't know. Let me go back to it. Hold on, guys. Let me just go back to it. But we're gonna bring it. I don't know why my internet is tweaking, but we're gonna bring it. And yes, like Johnny Mail said, that was one of my second appearance on YouTube, if I'm not mistaken. Let me move it a little bit further so that you guys can hear when I'm talking. Okay, let's see. Okay. Let me make sure that. Okay, here we go. Let me.
It seemed that he only heard part of the conversation.
Okay, hold on. Here we go.
I guess just be mean. But I do think that you've been hurt in the past by Latin men. I don't know if your dad beat your mom. I don't know if you had cousins that did some, you just seen something with Puerto Rican men that kind of made you, hate them a little bit. And my experience with Puerto Rican men, the ones I know, none of my friends, all the Hispanic men, none of them beat their wives. None of them. They treat their wives good. They have families. They have great careers and everything. So my perspective is mostly positive. Yours is mostly negative from what I heard. That's 100% facts from my perspective. I'm not joking.
Can I say something really quick? Macho, do you think it's at all possible that you heard her out of context because you didn't hear her speaking from the beginning when she was saying positive things? You only came in and you heard when she was talking about the negatives. So seeing as
I think it's selective hearing at this point.
well, I mean, seeing that he only heard part of the conversation.
Yeah, it's selective
Well,
because
what's true?
this is the thing. No, let me talk, Marshall, because you talk a lot. To be honest, it's like I said, there's no need for us to go back and forth. You're gonna go to sleep tonight thinking what you think, and I'm gonna go to sleep tonight thinking what I think, and we're both gonna be happy. Now, with that being said, why can't if two things? First, if you're calling out and you're all for Latino empowerment, which is what I believe we all want. We don't want to be looked at as the minority that's the servitude class, because that's how people look at us in America, and we don't want that. We want more because we're so much more. Now, if that's what we want, don't you feel that the same way you're saying, oh, let's just strip the flags from Cardi B and all the ratchet people that don't represent us, don't you feel that we should be calling out the abusive people in our community and strip them from our flags? Because that's what I'm doing. I feel that it's so hypocritical how you can get to say when men are toxic. You can call out when women are toxic. You can call out when we're ratchet, but nobody else can. To me, that's a little bit narcissistic. However, I've noticed a pattern in this little conversation we had. Me as a Latina woman, in your opinion, cannot call out bad Latino men. Not all, I said bad, the ones that are bad. Other communities cannot call out the bad Latino men. Not all, the bad. Then who can then? Because if we as women can denounce it, other communities can't help us out denounce it, then who can? Because you're saying that me, if I say it, oh, you're a self-loathing Latina. If other communities say it, oh, they're just hating on us. Then who can? Who can check us? Who can point out the shit that we're doing wrong? Or we're gonna be narcissistic and egocentric and think that everything we do is right. No. If I want the best for my people in Puerto Rico, I have to denounce the bad weeds and weed them out and bid them a good life away from us. Because if I don't do this shit and we all don't do this shit, we will never get past the bad things that are eating out our communities. If you want to be the type of Latino, I wish you the best. But that's not the type of Latina I want to be. I want to call out the bullshit because I want my community to thrive.
Drive?
People think thrive.
Thrive.
Oh, okay. I thought they said drive. I'm like, drive.
So like I said, if you want to be the type of Latino, fine by you. I don't. I feel that Latino men deserve a better representation than what the news is saying. And that's why I'm going to keep on calling that shit out. If you feel that we should cover it up because it makes everybody look bad, then let the media be louder than you. Let the media be louder than you. How about that? Because it's going to happen. Trust me, give it 10 years. It's going to happen. All of you are going to be team abusers if we don't start weeding out these people.
Now, as you guys can see, I was talking in that specific stream about the increasing feminicide in the Latin community, which is a very prevalent and up and coming crime, common amongst Latinos. I got a lot of hate for pointing that type of brown on brown crime. And when I talk about the cartels, even worse. Even worse. I have in my platform a video about the disgusting messages threatening me with sexual assault simply because I talk about the cartel crimes. So when people come at me with this, oh, why are you pointing the finger to FBAs and the black and black crime? That's why. Because I have the same standard. I'm not going to hide here and let other people that wants to quote unquote unite with us have a different set of standards than the ones that I ask from my people. If you want to unite with us, you can stay in the union. And it's time we stop pandering to stupidity. You want black and black crime to not be talked about? How instead of getting mad at the people that are pointing out black and black crime, you don't get angry at the people that do black and black crime? How many brothers we had to bury this week alone? From November to now. How many more have to die? 1,000, 3,000, 100? Didn't we just saw yesterday 3 young men from University of Virginia being gunned down by their ex-teammate? There was another young black man. Aren't y'all tired of that? Because I am. And he's not even part of my collective. You need to ask for better. Didn't we just saw Takeoff? One of the most unproblematic rappers being gunned down by who? Another brother. And we see this every day. When are we going to get tired? How is it that the number 2 cause for black death is police brutality? The number 1 is black on black crime. We want to skip through the number 1 reason and then go to number 2, which is police brutality. And don't get me started about black abortion. Don't get me started with that. You know that one of the most threatening things that can happen to you is that your own people can brutalize you. And you know that as a black man, you know that as a black woman. That is a fact. Your own can come for your life. It happens every day. But you still want to be pointing out the rapidy rap. And I'm coming this week with the rap music and all this stuff that you keep endorsing and dancing to. And it's all of us, because it's the same thing with the Latino community. It's the same thing.
I would agree with you when it comes to the whole, who's going to call out our shit, which is 100% true. You've been saying this for a long time. And now that we're flipping the mirror back, now we're being labeled all type of names. You know what I mean? But you're right.
Yeah. It's something. How are you going to talk about black on black crime? Because it affects black people. Black lives only matter when other non-black people take those lives. That's the message that is being put out there by the Tari Queeners and the RBG pro community MFers. That's the only way a black life matters. Because I don't know if you noticed, right, when they started saying that, Clarence Thomas is just a white supremacist banning abortions and stuff. No, he did that because he saw, just like we see, the 20 million black babies aborted since the 70s. That's why he did that. But they keep saying that nothing is being done for black people. No, you're your own disease. The people that think like this are their own disease. Get out of the way and let the real black community work. Move out the way. Move out of the way. We get it. You don't want to do the work. But there's people in your community that is doing the work and you're in the middle of the way. Shut the hell up. Keep doing your lazy life. Stop what you're doing. Get out their way. Get out of their way. Go back to the plantation where you belong. That's it. And I'm saying this from the bottom of my heart. You can get mad at me. You can unsubscribe if you want to, but that's where you belong. If you're one of these folks that loves to make excuses, dismiss what's happening, you don't give a flying F about black people dying by own black people killing them, go back to your mental plantation, unsubscribe from my channel. Don't come back here. You're not welcome here. And get out of the way. Get out of the way. Because you're not helping anyone. No one whatsoever. What are your thoughts, Rod? Because I'm going to start wrapping this up. What are your thoughts on this whole thing about the FBAs dying at the plantation instead of freeing themselves like black people back then did? Rod? Oh, They got rat.
No. That I'm here. I'm good. I got you. No, you're 100. I'm just dazzled by the words that you're saying right now. So that's the reason why I'm staying shut. But no, I 100% agree with you. What can certain people do if we're not gonna be doing things for ourselves to help each other out? Are you gonna bring other people in?
I'm gonna do it. Let's do it for a brief time. If people want to share something,
Okay, yeah, sure.
let's do it for a brief time.
Like 10 minutes, and then
Yeah, like 15 minutes at the most.
Okay.
If you want to come up, then come up, share your thoughts with us.
Yeah.
But we're starting to,
But
go ahead,
we're
Ron.
gonna wrap it up. But I totally agree with you. There are certain things in our community, in both communities. Let's be honest. The Latino communities, it's not innocent in this whole thing. You know
No.
what I mean? So this also applies to us as well. The Latino community also, is involved in crime, drugs, and all of this other BS. You know what I mean? To the point where it goes and affects other communities that aren't a part of that. So I totally agree with you.
Yeah, definitely. I see that Don Armando came up. Don Armando, what are your thoughts on today's topic?
Well,
Don?
what I think is that you gotta go and salute the people who are actually putting the work. Brother Polite, Umar Johnson, none of these guys are actually doing the work. So in my opinion, these guys they're just snake oil salesmen. They want to sell you a dream, and then on top of it, they're not gonna produce anything. And then the thing that they produce is stealing your money. That's my thoughts on it.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. What do you think, Rad? I agree with Roy Chess.
What happened?
What Don said. You heard what Don said?
Yeah, no, I heard they say snake oil salesman and everything.
Yeah, definitely.
I agree with them,
Yeah, I agree 100%. That's why I said no more. We're gonna walk into 2023 with two hashtags. No ring kissing 2023, because I'm definitely not. I know Radical said he's not either. I don't know about the shot people or not, but I'm not kissing the ring. So hashtag no ring kissing 2023. And the other hashtag that we're gonna go in, no excuses. I'm done with people's excuses. You want to die at the plantation? We're not going to stop you. We're going to bid you good night. Good luck. Get out the way. We're going to boot people for their stupidity. The same way we did with the Hispanotypes is the same thing we're going to do with the Tari Queeners and everyone that wants to join on that. I see that Afro says, Dr. Umar has said that we needed to weed the degenerates out. Yeah, he has said that. The problem is that he's one of the degenerates creating baby mamas out here.
Yeah, and the other degenerate is actually Brother Polite and all these other guys. Because if you actually look at the same narrative that they're actually speaking, right, you could actually go to 125th Street and hear it. That's all I got to say.
Yeah. All these rappers and all these people they're not the only degenerates. If you have more than one baby mama, let's say two. If you have more than two and you have not married none of them, you are damaging your community and you should be prosecuted. I believe that. I'm sorry. I know men are going to hate that, but I'm sorry. If we're going to start being hard on women, we have to be hard on the men too. If you're out here creating baby mamas and you're marrying these women and you're just creating fatherless children, when you know that's one of the biggest issues with both of our communities, you deserve to go to jail for damaging the collective. That's what you deserve.
Yeah, I think Macho needs to go to jail too for being an idiot, but that's just me.
Let's just not go. Let's just not go to that one. It's literally it. Magic Mulata said, "I agree. I'm super pro marriage. Yeah, absolutely. I think we should even talk about this more often." Blood Moon says, "Isn't fake Dr. Umar married? I thought he was faithful to his wife. No, he's not married. He's not married. Yeah, Morena, lock them up." So, guys. I want to thank everyone. I know there's people that are watching just for hate watching, and I love it. Thank you for the engagement too. That's a beautiful gift. When you guys don't engage with us in the chat, but watch the content. Thank you very much. I want to thank everyone that showed up. We're gonna keep talking about this. Tomorrow we're gonna react to, I don't know if you, I wanted to give you guys time to watch the Black Panther 2 movie. It proves the points that Radical has been talking about. With Black and brown unity. We're gonna, try to dissect the movie to my best ability. So if you want to be a part of that, tomorrow is the day. And then Friday, we're finally gonna have the infamous stream about Takeoff, what happened to brother Takeoff, and the Stockhood syndrome that's eating at our community. So guys, thank you very much. Serial impregnating should be a crime, Magic Mulata. Thank you guys very much for tuning in. Make sure you hit the video, you hit the like in the video, you share it, you subscribe. Thank you, Radical. Thank you, Don, for tuning in.
Peace.
It was a pleasure. Take care. Bye-bye, guys. See you on the next one.